everyone. This is Deborah Owens with another episode of Wisdom for Today. And today I want to talk to you about our recent victory with the IRS audit. So for many of you who follow us and have been our partners for a while, you know that for the last 2.5 years or so, we have been under an IRS audit. And last November of 2020, the IRS sent a letter saying that the IRS agent who was doing the audit said that he was going to put in his report that we engage in electioneering and that our C3 status should be pulled. And so, of course, Bill and I are not the kind of people that just roll over. So we appealed, and through a series of different interactions with various attorneys, we finally found the right attorney, and who's out of DC, and he was recommended by a very good ministry friend of ours who also supports faith, family, freedom, etc., who's based here in Texas. And so we pursued our case with the IRS, and we got to the appeals process, and we had an appeals officer who, after speaking to him on a phone conference with our attorney and explaining to him what we do and what we're about and what we believe in, praise God, he agreed that our 501c3 status should not be revoked. And it's been a long process going back and forth. He wanted us to work with our attorney to put safeguards in place so that it wouldn't appear that we were involved in electioneering, or that we wouldn't inadvertently engage in electioneering. So Bill and I have a better understanding of what's permissible and what's not. So we can always speak about issues that are dear to us: faith, family, life, freedom, education, immigration, various topics and issues that are near and dear to us, and we can educate, but we cannot mention office holders, political office holders. We can do voter guides where we just state the facts as to where a particular candidate stands on an issue. We cannot make it appear in any of our communication that we support one candidate over the other. And so we won that case, and we're very happy about that. We have been under, as you can imagine, a lot of pressure in dealing with an audit that next April will be 3 years. There were many facets to the audit. That was just one arm of it. We're still dealing with some things that our CPA, our former CPA did, that needs to be cleaned up. And so we are very excited, and we're very happy that Bill and I can continue the work of the ministry, the work that the Lord has given us and has assigned us to do. I tell people all the time, it's only because of the grace of God, and because I feel down deep in my heart and in my knower, as our good friend Oral Roberts used to say, I know that I know in our knower, because I promise you there are lots of other things that I can be doing. I have, as you know, earned a Doctor of Education degree from Vanderbilt University, and have taught on the K-12 level and on the higher ed level as well, and have done work in business, banking, and a number of other things before I turned my attention to nonprofit work, which, as you know, you don't make a whole lot of money and it comes with its set of challenges, especially if you're vocal and you're making a difference. Bill and I have made apparently some enemies who sought to destroy us, but we're children of God, and we held on to our faith in spite of some of the difficult days that we've had. And throughout that time, of course, we had the COVID, and my dad passed away around the same time that the IRS was telling us that they wanted to take away our C3 status, and then Bill fell and broke his hip, had hip replacement surgery. He's coming along with his recovery. However, as many of you know, Bill's 82 years old, and he's been a good soldier. But at this time in our ministry, I am starting to take over a lot of the responsibilities of leading the Coalition of African American Pastors. And we're going to have some announcements down the road. But the purpose of this message is to ask those of you who believe in our work, who believe in us, believe in our calling, believe that the information that we put out is necessary. We are one of a few Black-led, conservative, national organization. We're nationally recognized. We're branded. We've been around for a long time, and we're seasoned. And Bill's seasoned, obviously, with his age, and I'm seasoned because I have worked along his side since we've been married, and I've watched him navigate a lot. And so I'm asking you that if you believe that our work is needed and that our voice is needed, especially in this day and time that we're living in. I am female, but I fear no man. I fear the Lord. I'm not saying that I pick fights. I don't pick fights. I'm actually a peacemaker. I'd rather not fight. But if you pick a fight with me, you're going to know that you've been in a fight, because I fight to win. And so I fear no man, and I know, as I said, that God has called me to be Bill's helpmate, and He has called me to do the work of this ministry. And I will continue leading this ministry, speaking truth to power, informing pastors and citizens of the critical issues of our day. There's so much misinformation that is out there, and I'm going to continue to do that as long as I have the support of our friends and partners in ministry. It takes money to do what we do, and Bill and I have never been independently wealthy. We've never sought. Everybody has their values. Everyone has their path. And for me, my path has never been one to gain riches, affirmation of status, of a zip code or type of car or home or yachts. And that's fine. I'm not knocking that for those who have worked hard and who have earned it. But for me, my path is one in the ministry. And so I can't do the work of the ministry without financial support. And so we've sent out a couple of newsletters, and we've sent out some letters in the mail asking for your support to help us close out this IRS issue. We need an immediate $50,000, and that's not a lot of money. There's some people who get our newsletters who know us, who've been sponsors and contributors, who can write a check very easily for $50,000. But we need an immediate $50,000 in a couple of weeks to bring closure to one facet of this IRS audit. And Bill and I will be able to move forward without any more distractions in terms of fulfilling the work of this ministry. There's so much more work ahead. If you look at the news and if you read the newspapers, you're on social media, you know that there is a lot of work to be done. And so I ask that you would prayerfully consider making a generous donation to the Coalition of African American Pastors. We have our C3 status. It's not in jeopardy. The IRS has accepted our attorney's safeguards that he's put in place to be sure that we don't find ourselves in this position again. It's been a learning curve. Bill and I have just been passionate people who have just stood for what's right in the public square. But there are some boundaries in being a C3 that we have to follow, that we must follow. And for those things that we can't touch as a C3, I am going to touch as an individual, as an American citizen. I have the right to speak out for or against any matter, any person, any issue. And so I'll be doing that independently, aside and apart from the Coalition of African American Pastors. Because I lead CAAP doesn't mean that I just lay down Deborah Owens. And so there are avenues that we can take in forming an LLC to be able to speak out more boldly against some of the insanity that we're seeing in our country, and I plan on doing that as well. And everybody, as I said, has their individual calling and purpose and personality. I'm one who I seek to let the Lord use me and lead me to the best of my ability in understanding His Word and the direction that He wants me to go in. I don't seek, as I said, to start fights and be controversial, unnecessarily controversial, because I want people to like me or follow me or whatever. But I'm going to speak truth to power. I am going to educate. Bill and I are going to continue to do the important work of this ministry. And so the purpose again is to ask you to consider giving generously to CAAP. We need it more than ever. And I want to thank those of you who immediately, when we sent out the newsletter letting you know about the situation with the IRS and that we needed to cover some expenses, attorney's fees and other expenses. I don't need to explain all of that. Those of you who believe in us, you believe in us, and you're going to do what you're going to do. So we do need to clear the situation up so that we can continue to do this work with no hindrances. Though I am at peace and I am very elated and very happy that we did win this case and that we will hold on to our C3 and we can move forward in growing CAAP. And as I said, I have some other great news that I'm going to be sharing in the next video. So if you have been blessed with means and you can afford to send a generous contribution, please do so today. You may visit our website at caapusa.org and make the best donation you can. $50,000 is not a lot of money. It's not. And we've gone through COVID, we've gone through a lot, and we're still standing, we're still here. And we're praying that there's someone out there that God will tug on your heart to write and do what we need you to do, and what needs to be done so that we can get this situation behind us. And again, we thank those of you who have responded, and we look forward to sharing with you more about some things that are coming up in the next video or two. We ask that you continue to pray for us, pray for our work, pray for our country, pray for our country. And I ask that you follow us on Facebook. We're not on Twitter anymore, but Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And please, please, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and tell your friends and neighbors about our organization and tell them about our videos. And I need a studio. I need a good studio, and I'll make that appeal another time so that we can continue to bring Wisdom for Today episodes to you on a more regular basis in a more studio-like setting. And but you know what? You have to crawl before you walk. And when we first started the Coalition of African American Pastors, I'll never forget, I had David on my lap as an infant, sitting at a computer, and I was booking Bill on all the TV shows with him on my lap. I was writing all the newsletters. I did the website the best I could using Vistaprint. And look at us now, look at us today. And so I know in just a few short years from now, CAAP will have been expanded, and we'll have much more resources to do much greater work. We're needed more than ever. I don't believe, because you're black, you're better than a white, or if you're white, you're better than a black. But I do believe that now is the season for African American leadership, for blacks who are not afraid to speak truth to power, for blacks who are conservative in their values and who want to shed light on lies that are circulating in our culture. I believe it is our time, and I believe it's CAAP's time, and I believe it is my time. And so I'm ready, I'm willing, and I'm able. I just need your support. I pray that you'll support us today. God bless you. Thank you for listening. God bless you until next time. This has been Deborah Owens with another episode of Wisdom for Today.